We had a little technical difficulty, so we're going to start this thing all over. Appreciate you guys tuning in to D.A.P. Yep. Thank you for chiming in. Please do me the favor and share the page, like the page. 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check. Do me a favor, like the page, share the page. If you were here, come on back. We just had a little difficulty. Can you hear me? Let me know that you can hear me in the chat.
Mic check, mic check.
Put a 1 in the chat. Say what's up to the people. David Carment.
DC for JC in the house.
Hey.
Excited to be here.
Hey.
Share about what's happening, why I'm running, all the good stuff.
That's what's up. He about to share some good information with you guys. He's going to share why you should be choosing him in this running here. So make sure, do me a favor once again, put in the chat that you can hear me. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the 1. All right, appreciate you. I need someone else to put in the chat a 1 so that I know you also can hear me. Peace and blessings. We got my good friend here. He's running for office, council at large. So do me the favor, once again, like, share the page. We're going to allow you to do that for 1 minute real quick. Go ahead and do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Blessings. Peace to the good energy people. We here. While you're doing that, go ahead over to YouTube and subscribe to David Adams Podcast. Go ahead and give me a follow on this page, David Adams, so you can get more content, more interviews and things like that. Go ahead and do that now. We really appreciate that. It means a lot. Much love and respect. D.A.P. D.A.P. Blessings. Thank you for chiming back in. For those who have chimed back in, appreciate it. Thank you for chiming back in. All right, let me get this together real quick. I don't know. All right. Thanks for chiming back in, y'all. So make sure you get your questions together. If you have any questions for council, the one who is running for council at large, my man David right here. Say hi to the people, Dave.
Hello, hello.
How was your day so far?
It's good.
Good?
It was a rainy, long walk to my job.
That's why you're here, Curly.
Yeah.
Right.
We got little curls on top, probably more than usual, but
no doubt.
We made it.
That's what's up.
And we're here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. If you have a question for Dave, jot it down, and we're going to have a question and answer period. If you can, jot your question down. I'm going to have a number on the screen that you can take and just call in. But if you want to put it on the comment board, that's fine as well. You can do that too. That's cool. All right. So let me just wait for a minute or two. Okay, I see someone commented. Okay, I'm good. Thank you, Barbara Jenkins. Thank you. That's my sound person right there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Barbara was one of the co-host of Barbershop Chronicles. She quit on me, y'all. She quit. Yep. She quit.
Worked her too hard, huh?
Nah, not only that. What it was I think Barbara, she liked the to laugh. You know what I mean? She liked the comical side of what we were doing in the barbershop, having the conversations and stuff. And the conversation started getting serious. She didn't like that.
Gotcha.
She didn't want nothing to do with the serious conversations. She was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. But, you know what I mean? I said, okay, all right. But hey, whenever you want to come back, you can always come back, all right? By my girl Barbara. Much love. Yep. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with the questions. Do me a favor, share the page, Barbara. Do me a favor. And if you know anyone else who is running for any office, please tell them to contact me.
Absolutely.
If they want to contact me through David M's page on Facebook, they can. If they want to contact me through an email, supremeflix@gmail.com. supremeflix, Flix, F-L-I-X @gmail.com. And they can contact me there as well, okay? All right, now, first what we're going to do. Let me see. What the heck did I do with it? It's been a long day, brother. We're going to start with the first question.
Hit me.
If you want to have a question, you can put it down on the comment board as well. The first question is going to be, Dave, why you, out of all people in the whole city of Jersey City, you know, you might have a few that's trying to run as well, but why you as the council at large? You know, is it a passion? Is it something you just want to do? Is it just politics?
Yeah, great question. So my wife and I moved to Jersey City 2014. We've been engaged right from the jump. I got part of the starting of the Woodlawn Ave Block Association with Clarence Collins, aka Coach C.
Yeah, Coach C.
Me and him did a lot of work together. So I got exposed to Jersey City and the Jersey City life right from the jump. Just God's divine grace and let me move on to Woodlawn Ave right next to him. So, and I developed a passion for making sure my community was taken care of.
Right.
What drew me to Jersey City was actually I started my own church.
Oh, really?
Ambitious 25-year-old. Not your average thing that a 25-year-old does, but my wife and I did that. And
nice.
It grew my heart for the city, and I'll share more as we go. But my passion for young people, my passion to make sure that the city is represented as a whole, and not just wealthy pockets or this neighborhood or that neighborhood. And so when this race was coming up, I just felt this tugging, like, man, I think I want to run.
Right.
And as we'll share, I've been doing the work of building community in Jersey City, and so for me, it's not about winning. It's about wanting to increase that ability to help more people.
That's what's up.
And so that's why I'm running.
That's what's up. You still have the church?
Yeah. The church is still there. It's Liberty Church, Jersey City. So it's right there on Johnston Ave, right next to Lafayette Pool. It meets at the Regional Day School.
Nice.
I took a little sabbatical, so my co-pastor Lipe is still pastoring the church. My wife said, "Listen, you gotta pick a lane because I also work full time at New City Kids." Nice. And then now that I'm running for
that's great,
for
man.
office.
As a young man running the church, that's great, bro. That's good. Congratulations, man. Doing your thing.
Thank you.
Nice young family and all that.
Yep.
It's a blessing, man. That's all right. Okay, next question. Okay, let me see here. If you win, the first thing you're going to do to fix, what you going to fix in Jersey City? What's the first thing you fixing? That's on your mind, the back of your brain. You're like, you know what? As soon as I get in, this is what I'm going to do. I need to do this.
I'm just going to write a check to everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, if I can, I will. But no, I'm a dad. I have a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old. I live on the South End. I'm a proud Ward A resident. And my day job, I interact with hundreds of young people in Jersey City. Right. And so probably the biggest passion point that I have is kind of twofold. It's making sure young people have equal opportunity across our city, and making sure that there's safe green space for all families to enjoy.
Nice.
And so for me, it's meeting with the rec department to see what we're putting our money into, what programs we have, what resources we're pouring into our young people. And if there's one thing that I know how to do, it's safe after school programming at a large scale that's high quality, that engages young people, and that creates lasting change. And so I want to bring that model to the city level, right? And so it's investing in young people, it's investing in nonprofits, and then it's also how we run it as a city. And so for me, that's kind of day one initiative of like, what are we doing for our young people? Because they're the future, right? And then with that is, where is our investment in terms of parks, in terms of resources, making sure that parks are safe. I'll be frank, my wife, when she's home alone, she takes the light rail to go downtown because she doesn't feel safe, because the closest park to our house has a cop 24/7. Yeah. Right. And so
feel like something gonna go down, huh?
Yeah. And it's not just a matter of, oh, we just need more police in parks. That's not the solution, right? It's a matter of making sure that resources are shared equitably and that people have what they need and that they don't have to take a light rail or a bus, especially, I got a 10-month-old, right? The stroller. And the elevator is out at my light rail station, right? And so making sure that that commuter struggle of young families is acknowledged and addressed. And so those are some of the passion points of day one moves for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So rents are high.
Yeah.
Jobs are low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you going to be doing to help the everyday people here?
Yeah. One of the things that I'm running with Joyce Waterman, Team Joyce, right? Me and my fellow candidates. And one of the things that we always say is everyone says we're going to make sure that the developers pay their fair share. But nobody actually says how. Right? Nobody actually asked the follow-up question. I could tell you, I'm going to make sure developers pay their fair share. And I'm going to hit them in their pocketbooks, right? But we have to actually ask how we're going to do that, how we're actually going to build up neighborhoods and things like that. So first, rents are too high. My wife and I had the blessing of being able to become first-time homeowners back in 2019.
Nice.
I don't know if I could afford to buy that same exact house on that same exact block, right? Because prices have gone so sky high. So one element of how we fix rent control is making sure that people can buy property. That's how you create generational wealth. That's how you create sustainability. And there's a bigger investment in the community. And so I want to make sure that we have first-time home buyer classes being offered. I want to make sure that the grant programs, because there are grants available for first-time home buyers, are given in terms of broadcast messaging so that everyone knows about them and knows what to do. Making sure that they're not just signing up for bad loans as well and living above their means. Like the last thing we need is a bunch of foreclosures, right? But then I also want to make sure that we find ways to moderate the rents that are going sky high. I dealt with it. I was an amazing tenant. I put out the trash. I shoveled the snow. I cleaned up the backyard with my own money and effort. And my landlord, year after year, gave me the blessing of raising my rents.
No doubt.
And the moment that NJCU developed, he was like, hey, they're charging X, Y, and Z prices. So now I'm going to charge you. And I didn't get any amenities. I didn't get a new gym. I didn't get a facility, nothing. And so I definitely know what that struggle is. My wife and I had a season where we were unemployed, right? And then the fear of like, do I have enough to pay my bills, right? And so I'm not just some wealthy guy that's parachuted in that is going to promise you all these things. I know what the struggle is in terms of the day to day. And so that's kind of what I bring to the office.
So you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth?
No, definitely not. My dad cleaned toilets. He was a high school custodian. My mom was a nurse who worked with disabled children in schools. And if you work for the Board of Ed, you know that if you're a one-on-one nurse to a disabled child, you're not raking in the money.
No doubt.
As let's say certain other people might. But
no doubt. No doubt. All right, good answer. Good answer. Okay. All right. I see you long-winded too, brother. This brother can go.
I'm a pastor, so you gotta pull the reins in if I'm talking too much.
No doubt. That's right. All right. Safety check. Guns, violence, police relations. What's your plan to keep the streets safe without locking people up? You know, because sometimes, a lot of times they just want to lock people up. Yeah. And sometimes it's not necessary. What are you going to do to just avoid the violence and all that stuff and keeping the streets safe?
Yeah. There's no easy quick fix. Right. So I would say any candidate that's like, hey, I'm going to increase public safety and doesn't give you tangible reasons, they're just talking to get you to feel good, right? For me, what is important is making sure that, first of all, we start with young people.
Right.
The problem is we don't have enough resources being funneled into middle school and high schoolers, right? And so that's kind of day one agenda, what I'm passionate about, what I know really well, and I know what happens when you actually invest in young people, particularly overlooked young people, the amazing results that you can get, right? So that's one area. The other area is making sure that we have police, right? Because there is necessary responses sometimes that police need to show up for, right? So it's not a matter of just defund the police or we don't want any police, right? There is a proper place, and that police should reflect the community.
Right.
So one thing that our ticket is really big on is making sure, it goes back to the housing thing, that not only do our officers, fire department, all of that live in Jersey City, but can stay in Jersey City, right? Not just the application and get in the door, but can actually raise a family here and stay here and plant roots.
Right, because I think there's been a problem with that thing. I think many years ago, I think I've heard something about this through the grapevine, how people tend to live in different cities. Yeah. And they just get a residence here, I don't know, P.O. box or somebody, grandma's address, and all of a sudden now they're in the fire department.
If a bunch of people are applying and they all have the same address, there should be some questions there, right?
Right.
The other element too for me is making sure that residents feel safe. That's important, right? But that there's a good relationship, that the police officers know the communities that they're serving, and they know that when they're showing up because of a noise complaint, that it might just be a Caribbean party and they're having a good time, and it's not a thing that we have to go in guns a-blazing at, right? It's just a summertime party, right? Versus, hey, we hear gunshots and we need police to come in and check out the scene, right?
No doubt.
And so for me, it's making sure that police are able to move, that they're not just stationed at a corner, right? We hear from residents a lot that, hey, there's a cop 2 blocks away, but when I call because I have an issue, nobody's showing up, right? And then making sure that we invest in the right response to the right calls, right? Not everything requires a police response. Sometimes there is a mental health crisis. Sometimes it is just a simple of, hey, let's keep it moving down the street. Maybe it's young people and we need to have more programming. So maybe there's a response team there to show up and say, hey, here's the programs that are happening and where you can get plugged in at, right? Because let's be honest, nobody is trying to sell drugs and go to jail,
that's
right?
That's an interesting tactic right there. You mentioned, like, if someone call and there's a whole bunch of young people on a corner, and there's a team that, instead of the police coming out there, get up against the wall, you know what I mean? You got a group of people coming out there, probably maybe with the police, but then they got, somebody coming out there and say, hey, listen, there's a program going on. Y'all can check this out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Man. That's deep. I like that.
And part of what brings that to mind is at New City, we try to target the public high schools, right? We go to Lincoln, we go to Snyder, we go to Dickinson, we go to Ferris, right? And we go to the school and actually promote the program, right? Rather than just waiting for the kids to come to us, right? Because there are amazing young people that are highly motivated and they're going to find programs and resources, or they have parents that are pushing them, right? But there's this, we call it the middle 60, right? This huge swath of young people who are overlooked in our city. And if you just take a little bit of investment in them, you're going to get a massive response and truly life-changing results. So that's the things. Those are what I'm trying to bring to the city on a larger scale. That's
what's up. Great answer, man. Yeah. Thanks. That's what's up. I got a question. I'm gonna start asking everybody the same question. I'm very upset with the fact that I have to walk outside and there's doo-doo all over the place.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Now, doo-doo here, doo-doo there. Doo-doo there. I get out the car, doo-doo right there. Who's responsible for putting fines and pressure on those who are, I call, the doo-doo bandits?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're getting fined or something, because it's like they continue to do it. It's like there's no fear. It's like they allow the dog to crap and they walk off.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So what can you do, or anybody that's in the position can do to put fines on these people?
So I love that you bring that up, right? Literally, somebody stopped me today. She was like, hey, I've talked to you. And I was like, okay. Where? She was like, you were at the coffee shop. You're running for city council, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you have to do something about the dog poop.
Wow.
That was her first response. So I've learned, and this is my experience, that even though you might see dozens and dozens of dog poop, right? Almost on I wouldn't say a daily basis, but a weekly basis. Some kid at my program, because we walk the kids from PS17 to the main building, steps in poop, right? And then it's like, oh, Mr. Dave, I stepped in poop. And it's, wait outside, let's try to hose off that shoe without getting it wet. And get some Lysol wipes, gloves, it's the worst, right? I found in more of the neighborhood living that I've done that sometimes it's only one or two dog owners. right, that aren't actually picking up. So you bring up a great point, which is something that we've talked about. And it goes also to the safety check and just the quality of life issues, which is something that not only me, but my ticket and Joyce in particular is about, which is enforcement. Right. Because we have laws on the book. So it's not about, hey, we have to write laws. Or
the laws are there.
They're there, right? We're just not enforcing them. Right. And it's not that you have to make it a militant state that you're cracking down on everyone, but it's a simple enforcement where residents could start reporting, right? We have some apps and some things to do that, but where they actually see responses is going to drastically change the quality of life. My big issue that I see constantly too is just trash in general. Right. And I remember walking my son to school, and I'm talking to the woman who would pick up every day. She was really sweet, right? And my son's like my little twin, so everyone wants to say hi to him, right? And she was like, oh yeah, it was about an 8-block walk between where my house was at the time and my son's school. And she was like, yeah, it's 3 stores. It's this one bodega, it's this one smoke shop, and I forget what the third one was, right? And so if you have enforcement and a business owner gets a fine once or twice, they're going to be a lot quicker to clean up their front yard, right? And the trash. And it doesn't take much, right? And it's not that we're supposed to all of a sudden just be, like I said, a militant state enforcing all of these rules and regulations that people feel like I can't even live there. It's just simple quality of life. Hey, whether you own a business, you're a resident, or you're a dog owner, let's make sure we're living together. And why I'm passionate about this, I would go pound for pound, have been a dog owner of the biggest dogs of any other candidate. I had a 105-pound American Bulldog Pit Bull mix and a 55-pound Blue Nose Pit. And I had them for 10 years living here in Jersey City. Sadly, they both passed away this year, right? But why I say that, there was never once that I left a single load of crap on the ground. I had a bag with me. I had backup bags. And if I could pick up basically human-sized poop that my dogs were laying, you could pick up after your dog no matter what
It might
size.
be a little warm, but it won't get on your hands. You got the plastic bags, right?
Exactly.
I really think that there should be something done about that, because I guess something, enforced, because it's like people don't care. And you said it may be 2 or 3 in the community. Nah, it's more than that, bro.
No, I'm just saying within like a few block radius.
Okay, gotcha.
No, there's easily hundreds. So I drop my son off and leave the car. I'm super wealthy, so my wife and I have one car, and the kids get it. And so after dropping the kids off this morning, I walk 30 minutes to my job. I'm not exaggerating. I saw at least 50 loads of poop, which are now just slowly running like poop rivers because it was raining down the sidewalks and into the streets. It's disgusting, right? And so it needs to be addressed for sure.
No doubt. Okay. Let's say small business love. How are you making it easier for small businesses, especially Black and brown entrepreneurs, to thrive in the city?
Here's why I love this platform, and thank you for having me. I get to share what I've been doing, right? I'm a pretty humble guy. I find it really hard to actually self-promote myself. It comes from just the work that I do.
No doubt.
I've been investing in minority-owned small businesses in Jersey City for years, right? I didn't just start doing it or talking about it because I want to run for office. My church, back in, I think it was 2018 was our first one. We made it a priority that every quarter we were going to invest and cash flood a local small business. And why would we cash flood? If you spend cash at a small business, it stays in the community 80% longer. And why that's important, or why that happens, is local small businesses, the local bodega, the local barista, they likely live in the area, right? If they're working at the restaurant, whatever, fill in the blank for the small business, right? And so you're spending cash there, they're getting paid with that cash, or they're going out and buying resources and supplies for with that money. And so we started to do it. We did it at Light Rail Cafe, we did it at Cafe Lafayette, Nourish, Pinwheel Garden, Co Cafe, you name it. We were going there and we were cash flooding hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, and the entire church would show up. Now, I don't have a mega church, but we would have a decent amount showing up there and cash flooding that small business. And so I want to bring that same thing. I'm wearing my buddy, the Beard Dad. I don't know if you can see it right here. He's a local small business here in Jersey City. And what did I do on my Saturday night? I hung out with him at the Beer Fest and helped him sell products. He paid me in merch. And so it was a great exchange, right? And I do that because I genuinely believe in his product. I believe in investing in small business. My wife and I just updated our cameras, 0 blind spots, hit him up. Local Black-owned camera security installation company right here in Jersey City. They've done a ton of spots. Senator McKnight's spot, the Angela Cares, right? Daycares, the whole 9 yards. They'll take care of your needs, right? why do we invest in small business? Our lifeblood, right? And so it's not something that I just talk about. It's something that I actively practice with my mouth, with my wallet, with my resources, and then connecting, right? Connecting small businesses to other small businesses. And so what does that mean for me as councilman, right? Because it's like, that's great, Dave, keep doing it. Right. It means that we actually have a pot of money, right? And Joyce and I have talked about how to do this, right? Just taking 2 cents out of the dollar, right? And creating a trust fund of money that local small businesses can apply for grants. And why that's important, it'll be lower than the interest rates that they're getting at any bank. By getting the loans through Jersey City, we're able to invest in more small businesses. Also, those small businesses sometimes might be minority owned, and the bank in their traditional criteria is redlining them. Let's be honest, right? And so they might not be able to actually apply for the amount that they need. And so through the city, you can now get that new awning and get your sign put up. You can get the resources that you need to start it, right? Whether it's startup capital, you might get the resources maybe to float you because hey, I have an ice cream shop, and December to February is tough, and we don't make enough sales, and so I need these X amount of resources, right? Whatever that need is, fill in the blank, they can then apply for those grants. Those are the things that I want to bring. And then also just networking and making sure that people know what small businesses are here in Jersey City. And this is something my campaign has done before I was a candidate. I'm saying my campaign. This is something I practice, right? I did a campaign kickoff. Where did I order the food from? Local, my favorite Dominican spot, Also de Caribe. No doubt. It's on Woodlawn and Sterling. Hit them up. They did not pay me for this advertisement. The Balloon Arch, local guy, right? John Robinson hooked me up with his venue space, right? These are who we want to invest in. And then I practice this even at my job, right? The people that we reach out to, the security door system that we put in at New City Kids was Zero Blind Spots, the local guy, right? The food that we order from 9 times out of 10 is going to be a local guy. And even if it is a chain, it's a local owner, right? And so this is just something that if we all did it as a city, we continue to thrive in it.
Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. Great answer, brother. Great answer.
Am I talking too much?
No, you're doing your thing, man. Hey, you're a pastor, man. What can I expect? You know what I mean? Oh, man, that's what's up. Okay. So I got a picture here.
Yeah.
Tell me about this picture right here.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So if you don't know, pastor, associate director, I needed more in my life, and so I became a board member. I'm joking about that, right? But no. Louis Spears, Kinsman of Kings, he invited me to be a board member, executive board member. And so I just grew this passion, not only for young people in New City Kids, but Kinsman of Kings, making sure resources are going around and organizations are thriving. We did for 5 years. It started because a member of my church was detained by ICE. Really? And then a second member was detained by ICE, number 45's first term. And so I realized how difficult it is for ICE detainees. And so for 5 years straight, we went to the jail. Saturday before Christmas, we gave out presents to all the kids visiting their dads or their uncles, because if their dad is there, they're not getting out for Christmas. And so, man, it was a tear-filled event that we went there. That was one of the first moments that Louis and I really connected. And that was who I was about, right? Sadly, that kind of season that ended, our main partner there had retired, and it became really difficult. We did it 1 year without her, and it was just clear that it wasn't working. And so rethinking, what are we going to do in terms of a Christmas toy drive? We started thinking about, what if we did a toy drive in Jersey City for immigrant families? They could pre-register, which they did. They told us what they wanted in terms of toys. And then the deal was they had to come and either donate $5 to Kinsman of Kings or buy a coffee at Co Cafe. And so every young family, these are immigrant families, they don't have a lot, right? They gave a couple bucks and either benefited Kinsman of Kings or Co Cafe. And then what they got to do was go shopping. Right. And so we had hundreds of toys. For some of them, they showed up and said, hey, here's my name. And we had custom toys ordered for them. The rest, because word spread like that, right? Once it was happening, there's toys there. So hundreds of new families and kids got there and got their Christmas presents. And then the best part was parents could get their gifts wrapped, which is what the photo you see, by Kinsman of Kings, young men. And they had to pay $1 for the gift to be wrapped. And every single one of those dollars went to Kinsman of Kings. And so we generated a couple $100s for Kinsman. We generated hundreds of dollars for Co Cafe as a business. And then we also blessed hundreds of kids with toys and gifts for Christmas.
That's what's up. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Tell me about this one here. What was going on in this situation? Hold on, let me just grab it real quick. Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, pastor of a church. I know you see white guy, but my church outside of my own family was not white. Shout out to my fam, holding it down. Caucasians of liberty, right?
No doubt.
No, so it developed a passion in me for mass incarceration. There's a broader movement with the Christian Community Development Association, CCDA, where every February they do Locked in Solidarity. It's a mass incarceration awareness week. And so what we did as a church was that Sunday morning, I devoted my sermon to it. We talked about the issue of mass incarceration, the statistics behind it, the school to prison pipeline, the whole 9 yards, right? And then I wanted to do more than just a Sunday morning sermon. And so it started a panel discussion, and we did it 3 years in a row. And every year looked at a slightly different topic. And so the first was just in a broad category and looking at Jersey overall. And what were some of the statistics within New Jersey and Jersey City? Second year was reentry. What does it look like for reentry for men coming out of prison, women coming out of prison, and what are the opportunities and the challenges they face? And then last year was addressing the school to prison pipeline and the preventative measures through education. And so I had Lewis Spears on there, Kinsman of Kings. I had Janine Brown, right? She's a crisis intervention teacher at Dickinson, and I'll butcher her resume if I start listing because I'm going to leave things off. But Janine, we go way back, right? I had Senator McKnight from the legislative standpoint, right? And it's critical to talk about these issues so that people know about them, and then we could address them, right? And it's not just addressing them through legislation always, it's also the day-to-day and how we live our lives and making sure that whether you're electing someone like me, that I'm aware of these issues and can legislate from a place of understanding and making sure I don't exacerbate the issue like the 95 crime bill, right? But also that we can do restorative justice as well. That people like Janine, Lewis, and so many others can be advocates for young people saying, yeah, that kid messed up, but why are we throwing the book at them? They need an investment so that they can hit the books and actually make something of their lives and find a career and success rather than just the streets.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, okay. Tell me about this one here. What's going on here?
Well, promo, April 19th. If you are in the area, show up at Berry Lane Park. We got 15,000 Easter eggs, and that's not happening just because I'm running for public office. I should have done the math before I got on here, but seventh year in a row of doing it. First year was at Audubon, second year was at Berry Lane, and it used to be Berry Lane Playground and the basketball court, and then it became too dangerous. I had kids jumping the fence each round to get those eggs. There's no money in the eggs, but you would think that there were based on how everyone reacted. But yeah, we got 15,000 Easter eggs. We got Gotta Go Gaming. There's going to be gaming trucks, laser tags. There's going to be giveaways. And this is something I do every year, but it's not me. It's multiple churches. Liberty Church, which I was the pastor at, would spearhead it, but we partnered with Redeemer, Jersey City. We partnered with Mount Pisgah. We partnered with Zion Baptist Church. We partnered with the Hub Church. Forgive me if I've forgotten any churches, but we also partner with Friends of Berry Lane Park, with the Morris Canal CDC. Oh, St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Nice. We got everyone involved, right? All shades of Christianity. We're there, and it's a free event. It's just meant for families. So little kids are in the infield, big kids are in the outfield. We do multiple rounds. Like I said, 15,000 eggs this year filled with candy.
Yeah, you seem like a very spiritual dude, man. You're very spiritual, and I think you know, is that your foundation to why you do a lot of this giving back the way you do? Like,
yeah. I mean, for me, my hope is rooted in the scriptures, right? But my motivation is that Jesus calls us to love all people, right? And so for me, it doesn't matter what your faith background is. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. In fact, Jesus models what it looks like to love the least of these, right? Those that don't have the same resources, that don't have the same color skin that I do, that don't have the same opportunities, and make sure that it's an equitable place for them to live, thrive, and raise a family in.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Okay. David going in, y'all.
We're making it happen.
David making it happen. He not playing no games. Okay. Next question, Dave.
Yeah.
We got, let's see, youth in schools. I mean, you talked about a lot of that, you know, schools and youth and all that. What's your plans to keep kids off the street and the positive spaces keep them in positive spaces?
So I would say first, there are federal dollars that the city gets and then disseminates it to nonprofits, right? And so for me, we need to have a grant department that not only gets the money that we're currently getting, but we expand that, right? Because there's money out there. And why do I say that? We can hire a bunch of employees to do this work, but nonprofits and those who work at nonprofits, typically, I'm talking in generalities, are passionate about the work and are going to do 10 times the amount of work for 1/10 of the cost, right?
Gotcha.
The work that I do, the investment that I put in, I'm not getting paid anywhere near what I'm worth, so to speak.
Right.
And why do I do it? Why do I stay so long? Why do I work such late nights? Why do I do dishes to make up for it with my wife, right? Is because I love the young people and I love the kids that I work with, right? And it's not just, hey, we need to expand New City and only invest in them. No, we need to invest in all the youth programming that's happening, whether it's expanding arts funding for Nimbus Dance Studio, right? Expanding funding for Kinsmen of Kings for New City Kids. Fill in the blank with those organizations, right? That's how it's done, right? We can do things at a city level, but sometimes the cost is really high. And so I think what I bring to the table is strategic thinking on maximizing the dollar value and the impact.
Got it.
And so that's kind of phase one of investing in the nonprofits. But then there also needs to be a critical look at what are we offering in terms of a rec department? What summer programs are out there for kids? What sports programs are out there for kids? I'm going through right now with my 4-year-old. Like, okay, what can I sign him up for, right? And then also making sure that cost is not prohibitive. Pools in the summertime, right? I know that was just voted to remove the fee, right? Those are the proactive things that I want to make sure that there are no hindrances to the programs that are already happening, and then to expand the programs that are there in a tangible way that doesn't just balloon our costs either. Because I'm sure everyone on here thinks that they don't pay enough taxes and they want more taxes. I'm being sarcastic, obviously, right? No one needs their taxes to be increased. And so how do we do more with the resources that we already have? And I think I bring a lot of value, especially in that area.
No doubt. Transit troubles. Folks rely on buses and trains.
Yes, sir.
How can you make public transportation better and more affordable?
I can sell you empty promises. Or make it seem like I can do more, right? If we're being honest, city council members have very limited power. Now, I can tell you I'm calling NJ Transit, and I can tell you we're going to expand the light rail and have more buses, and I'm going to hold the Port Authority accountable to make sure the path is more reliable. I can say all those things, and I'll say them. Yes, I'm going to do those things. I really will reach out to them. And they can tell me to go kick rocks. Right? They don't
with no socks. With glass with glass in front of the rocks.
Here's some rusty nails too. There's no guarantee that they're going to even take my call or that they're going to do anything. In fact, I mean, Port Authority saw the toll hikes and said, "Hold my beer, we'll raise our fares too," right? And so the priority for me is mass transit. Why do I say that? I don't know about the other candidates, but I ride the 87 almost on a daily basis because I have one car, right? I use it to get to and from my job. If I don't take the 87, I'm taking the light rail to and from my job because my role, I actually bounce around to the 3 sites. And then a lot of times in the morning, I'm usually taking a VIA, right? And so it's not that there aren't mass transit options. It's that they're not always reliable. They can be cost prohibitive, right? And if you have a job and it's time sensitive, it can be really frustrating. I'm really grateful that my start time, not that it's flexible, but it's not like I have to be there immediately. And so my boss is really flexible that like, I could show you the Slacks and the text messages. Hey, my VIA canceled. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little longer. Oh, they just added 2 more riders to my VIA. I'm pinned in the back. You got to give me more time. And even further, there is the deserts of mass transportation is real. Why? Because I have to park at my son's school, my daughter's school actually. I drop off my kids every morning, but 2 days a week I have to park at their school, and then I walk over 30 minutes to my job. Because I could take a bus or I could take a light rail, but they're not consistent enough and they don't really actually drop me in the right place. By the time that I wait for those things, and do the transfers and everything like that, I could have just walked it, right? And so for me, it's not that it's not an important issue. It is. I want to expand VIA a little bit more, make sure that it's more reliable, make sure that there's some smaller cars out there too, right? I've been in the van where everyone is looking at each other. No one wants to move to that back seat. And the 6'1", 275-pound guy has to be the gentleman and move to the back, right? It happens on the regular. And so making sure that there are more cars out there to subsidize as well what's happening.
Okay. All right. Corruption and accountability.
Yes,
Jersey
sir.
City politics can be very, very messy. How do we know that you're not just a politician? Just talking slick. Slick David. By the way, our name is the same, man.
Dave. It's
King
a good name.
Dave. King
Yes,
Dave.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
So how do we know you're not just being slick, bro?
Well, unlike our former senator, I have no gold bars in my house.
No gold bars?
No gold bars. I'm a man of integrity. I literally can reach out to people from church, from New City, from my community. My campaign kickoff was really cool because different pockets of friends and people who are supporting me from Jersey City were like, man, I didn't even know you did all that. I didn't know you were involved in this or that. And it goes back to I don't brag sometimes about what I'm doing, which is different in the political game.
Promote yourself. I got you.
But in terms of corruption, that's just not who I am. I'm not in it to increase my power or increase my wealth. In fact, if I lose, all the things that I've been talking about, I'm going to continue to do. Because I didn't do it for that. I didn't move to Jersey City to run for a public office, unlike some people that are currently running, right? I didn't see an opportunity to line my pockets, and that's why I'm running. Like, I just love my community. I think I bring a lot of value and resources in terms of my experience and my viewpoint. And so that's why I'm running, and that's why I'm able to avoid corruption and be held accountable. And for me, transparency is huge. I want transparency in how we're spending money, transparency in the police department, whether it's posting stats or body cam footage, the whole 9 yards, right? I want transparency in government. What are we spending money on? And is there wasteful spending or ways that we could spend it more strategically? And so for me, when you do things in the light, you have nothing to hide. And so that's how I operate my life in every single aspect. And so I know I can do that as a politician as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Listening to people, if a regular person hits you up, you know what I mean? And, how easy is it for them to contact you? I mean...
on my business card, I have my cell phone. I don't have a Google Voice number. I'm very accessible. DC for JC. It's not only my hashtag, it's my username. Hit me up. Part of why I chose to run with Joyce is she was so accessible. Right? When I ran into issues, she answered quickly and faster sometimes than my own ward people would. They would sometimes get to me a few days later. She was usually within like 12 hours. She was answering the phone. And so for me, I want to make sure that I'm modeling that as well. I've always been that way as a pastor, answering the phone call, showing up. Like I mentioned, I went into the jails to visit my ICE detainees. That one gentleman, his mother suddenly passed away in Guyana. I took the red eye and was his rep as his family representative and pastor in Guyana. Because he couldn't go because of his immigration status, right? That's just kind of who I am, listening to the needs of the people. And if you ask, so to speak, my base who's supporting me, they'll tell you the same thing. And so I'm not only going to listen to you now while I want your vote, I'm going to listen to you when I'm actually in office and respond. And part of why I'm running at large is I see the unique perspective because, like I said, at New City Kids, I work in wards A, B, and F primarily. And so I have this broader view of the city. And so I can hear constituents in Ward E complaining about, hey, we're being overly policed in terms of parking tickets, right? And then I could also hear the residents in Ward C saying, can you please send somebody to write a ticket because they're blocking the fire hydrant and I'm paranoid my house is going to burn down, right? I could see those tensions and can bring hopefully some responses that people can respect and appreciate.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I see someone in the comment. Oh, that's my man John. John says, Pastor David is a solid dude.
Thank you. Not just physically.
Okay, all right. He also said, "Gotta Go Gaming LLC will be there." All right.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Even if the Easter eggs are not your thing, come out for the gaming and the laser tag. It's gonna be a great event.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right. It's one of the last questions. Legacy talk. Okay. If you were, if you just left,
Yeah.
you served, got in, and you left. What is the main thing that you want to be remembered for?
Yeah. I mean, impact obviously is what a lot of people would say. For me, I think the way that I live my life naturally has that. When I chose to step away from Liberty Church for a sabbatical and a season of rest for my wife and myself and my family, it was a really tearful goodbye.
Really?
People knew the investment that I had,
Right.
and didn't want me to go. And I think that speaks to the work that, and the time and the investment that I did at Liberty.
Yeah.
And I think the same would apply for running for office. I think the most tangible thing, if you're like, what was Dave about? I would say our young people and making sure that they have the resources. John is a great example, right? The Gotta Go Gaming Hub. I'm not in office, right? But I know that he's gone through with the red tape of the building department and the frustrations and needing to raise capital, and then also like spreading the awareness. Like for me as a city councilman, I want to invest in programs like his and also just be the biggest cheerleader and advocate and promoter of it. And I think some of that boils down to just the work that Coach C and I did so much.
Yeah,
you know?
Coach C was good dude.
Yeah. And I knew Clarence, the homeowner, and the husband first, right? The guy that walked to the corner and was like, we'd be in the middle of like sweeping up leaves and trash and be like, I got to pick up Elaine at the bus stop, right? And walk his wife back to the bus stop. But part of why I bring that up is some of the day-to-day issues of Woodlawn Ave were raised to us as a block association. We were able to do stuff. There's a bus shelter on the corner of Woodlawn and West Side because we advocated for it and we got it done, right? Trees that...
I never knew that.
Yeah. That was Clarence and I pulling, I would say pulling strings. I had no strings to pull. I had no connections at the time, right? But it was the power of the voice, right? The power of multiple people in the community. And that goes to tree trimmings, right? There were neighbors when I first moved there that wanted their trees trimmed for 2, 3, 4 years, couldn't get the city to come out and cut their trees. We started the block association. We started leveraging, calling, saying we need this done. Within like months, those things were done, right? And then we organized block parties, right? And those things are still talked about, right? Just some of the other day was like, I went to that Woodlawn Ave block party, right? And we had the dunk tank and the games and the bounce houses, the music, the food, right? It was a good time, right? The residents remember that, even if they're not still living there, or the ones that do live there realize
they remember that.
the absence now of Clarence and I no longer being on Woodlawn Ave, right? And so that is just kind of a metaphor of the impact that I hope to have as a councilman.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Great job, man. Great answers, man. I appreciate you accepting my invitation.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me,
man. You know,
hope I didn't talk too much.
No, you did great, man. I appreciate it, you know. And by the way, if you can get in touch with Waterman.
Yeah.
Tonight.
We talked about it tonight, so definitely want to sit down and answer questions.
I think that would be a great thing for us. Yeah. Okay, cool. And if you know anyone else that would like to come up, please have them come up. If you have any questions for John, you can for David, you can put him on the comment board now. Or if you want, you can call in to the number that's going to be on the screen right now and make your statement, have a question.
Hit me with the questions. I want to be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I'm ready to answer.
Any questions for for David, man? I don't know why I keep talking about John because he's on the
John's
comment
dropping
board.
comments.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to John for setting this up for me. I appreciate that.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. So you got a question? Call in. Even if you got a question, John, you can call in too, Call in.
I mean, the first time I ever met John was Clarence, Coach C, had John come to our block meeting.
Right.
And there's like 10 of us, right? And I got to introduce everyone. This is my guy, John. He's opening a gaming truck. It was the first trailer he ever had.
First one, right.
And so we hit it off. He came to the block party. We booked him for something at New City Kids. We became good friends. And then we got to kind of know each other and stuff, right? And so it's that sort of community connections that are so important. And why, I mean, it goes to the dog poop, right? You get a couple of neighbors together and you're watching like hawks.
That's right.
That guy that owns the pit bull that never picks up and always poops on the tree in front of your house.
Yeah, man.
He's going to get a knock on the door, get a fine.
No doubt.
And he's going to have those little green bags to pick it up afterwards.
That's right. That's right. Call in. You got any questions? Call in. Come on and call in. If you got any questions, give a call to ask Dave a question. It's a possibility. You never know. He may be your counsel at large. So call in and ask some questions. You know what I mean? Put them on the spot. Put them on the spot. All right. We'll give you a little bit. I'll give you a little time to do that. But go ahead, call in, or put your comments on the comment board. All right, so we thank you guys for chiming in. We really appreciate it, man. Be on the lookout for more candidates, running candidates coming up to give their spill, give their visions, their plans, and the future on what they're trying to do if they get elected. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. I would like to thank once again David for coming up, accepting the invite. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. And I wish you well. Much love and respect. Thank you. Peace and blessings, man. All right, you got it. No doubt. That D.A.P. We out. Peace.